Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Billboards.
He is a musician. An author. Film director.
Oh, si Direk.
Direct pala to.
And a master plucker.
Master Blocker!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our boys died out, Mr. Ely Buendia.
Master Plucker. I like that.
Master Blocker! Papi Early, welcome!
What's up, bro?
Ayos naman.
Thanks for having me.
And we all know that may something big coming up, pero mamaya pag-usapan natin yan. Kamusta naman ang lockdown? What have you been up to?
I have been busy with, of course, making music, but not my own. Producing other artists for offshore music, and then coming up with vinyl releases, stuff like that. You know, I don't want to bore you, but
Hey, that's pretty cool.
What's
Yeah.
downtime like for you? Because that sounds really productive.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, parang wala kaming kwenta tuloy eh.
Oo
Oh.
nga eh. Parang, you're work. So what is downtime like in lockdown for you?
well, it's not just me who's working. You know, we have a team of really capable guys. Downtime to me is for me is basically just on my laptop, emailing people, calling people up, stuff like that.
Work pa rin. Ayos.
Work pa rin.
Productive pa rin. Okay, wala nga tayong kwenta, boys.
Medyo. I was gonna ask him, so do you check out YouTube? What do you like to look at?
Nang-away ka ba sa Facebook? Nag-aanap
Tayo
ka ba
just random.
Nagtitiktok ka ba? May bago ka ba mga TikTok moves dyan? Wala masyado.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie,
Oh.
you said that you've been busy with music and working online, but what are the different changes? Obviously, with the pandemic, has it been easier for you, considering the lockdowns, the restrictions, with making music? Instead of being together in a booth, syempre alam natin na there's that. Even us, we know that there's a
Ba
chemistry
yung vibe
when
pag magkakasama?
Oo eh.
Parang ganun.
pag nasa studio, sama-sama sa, magdamag eh. Di ba? Minsan, all-nighter in the studio, just listening, arranging, tweaking, whatever, inside the studio. Ito, you guys are in separate places eh. I-send mo na lang yung file.
Yeah,
So,
that's
ito,
it. Yeah, you're right. Basically, that's what musicians have been doing even before the pandemic naman. I mean, the technology allowed us to just basically send files, and I guess on that front, medyo musicians are at an advantage. Swapping files and recording stuff. You don't really need to go out now, much less meet people. But yeah, I mean, I have a studio, a home studio, and we kind of miss,
Being with other people.
Live recording.
Oh, syempre. Kung sa amin, kung magana naman yung guest. Diba? Iba yun online.
Iba yung energy tones. Pag,
Iba yun nasa studio, di ba Ellie? Pag ganado ka collaborating with so artist or bagong artist. I mean, it's really different.
Yeah. Tsaka when you're producing music, medyo mahirap din to the quality of the recordings kasi some musicians don't have
the equipment,
the proper equipment, the right gear, much less yung the right way to record stuff. I mean, you can always go on YouTube, as you say, and look up
How to do it.
recording techniques. how to do it, how to record vocals or guitars. Pero in the end, you still need an expert opinion.
Mm-hmm. And how's that difficult? Is because you did mention that you are producing other artists. I mean, say you have an idea, but then when they send it back, it's not there to what you expected. So
sabi mo, pangit nito, ganun.
I
Sorry
need more life. I need more life.
Yeah, kulang na lang, ganun na sabihin namin dahil mahirap i-mix yung music if the source material, it all comes down to what's being recorded. I mean, that's the front lines of music making, the way you record it. And if it's not recorded well, then there's really nothing you can do about it in the mixing stage. Yeah.
Did you invest in any during the lockdown? May binili ka bang bagong instruments, equipment, ganyan?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. I mean, the whole pandemic, parang I went crazy with gear, equipment for the studio. Kasi, that's all I do, like shop online. And I trained under a Grammy-winning producer, a mastering engineer. Kasi ang daming oras, diba? What can you do, diba? So you have to like learn new stuff while isolated. So that's what I did. I had a guitar tutor, I had a sound engineer tutor, and yeah, so far I can say that I've improved as a guitar player and as a sound engineer.
Nahiya naman kami.
Ikaw tutor ka. Oo nga eh. Tayo tutor ka.
I got a guitar tutor.
Oo nga eh. Pero ako din medyo what? You got a guitar tutor?
Si Ely Buendia nagpa-tutor?
Tayo wala.
Parang dapat ka ikaw na yung nagma-masterclass, di ba?
But is it like a humbling experience learning from, say, you said you're a Grammy-winning producer? Was it just one of those things like, wow, there's so much more that I didn't know?
Well, I know that there's so much more that I don't know. So, I've been humbled lots of times by critics, and I take those to heart. So when people say, "Oh, you don't know shit," or "You don't, your band isn't that good," I take that to heart, and I filter it, and ano ba talaga? I mean, are they right? And sometimes they are right, and that's what grounds me, and that's why I look for people who are actually experts in the field. And I've been recording and mixing for how many years now, but parang meron pang level that I need to be at if I'm to run an actual professional recording studio or even a record label.
That's a lot of self-awareness. I gotta say, I mean, considering all of the things that you've accomplished already, and to still take criticism from people, again, like what you said, sometimes you have to filter it out, and I feel like that's such an important skill to have, to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Parang, ano ba to? Troll lang ba to? O seryoso ba tong sinasabi niya? Galing.
Maraming trolls, bro.
Maraming trolls eh. Parang, but at the same time, sometimes they might actually be right.
I want to know how Ely handles that. Hindi mawawala yan online. You'll always have your here. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. How do you handle the trolls and the hate? Are you one to just block, delete, or just ignore?
Well, that's what I do now. Basically, I just ignore. There was a time when when there's a Twitter troll somewhere, and they really know how to push your buttons,
They can.
Siyempre.
That's very good at that, and may mga times na talagang gusto mong patulan eh. So, well, Twitter for me is just basically people ranting about anything. So, parang, sige, I mean, I'll rant because that's what people expect me to do. But I learned my lesson, definitely. After like 3 or 4 Twitter rants, parang breakdowns, people called it a breakdown, even though it's not. It's just me ranting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're right. Whoever said it, you just really have to, block them and ignore them. So that's what I do now.
Speaking of ignore, one thing that you're very vocal about, is the state of our country. You made a music video which is very timely. Obviously, elections coming up. We need a leader in 2022. May 9th is a big day for all of us. For all of, the registrations of elections is now closed. So now the most important aspect
Close
is
na ba?
Meron pang
Kala ko
9 days.
like a few days left. Like
9 days.
13.
till the end of this month. Yeah.
and okay, so it's coming up to a close. So we have 9 days left, Gino?
Yeah. 9 days.
Okay, so 9 days, and then
Yeah, I'm actually planning to register.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, first time in my life. I'm
Ako rin,
planning
bukas.
to vote. Ikaw din.
Bukas ako.
Nice.
Oh,
Alright.
Don't forget to
Hindi
post your ink selfie. Dapat
Oh,
naman.
pakita mo.
This will be my 4th, and I've never won.
Like any
Really?
of the candidates that you've ever
In the
picked.
three
The one you supported.
elections, in the 3 and never. And
Ano talaga?
it's quite frustrating, it's just really frustrating, but it's so important to always vote and never ignore it. I know a lot of us have always just said, bahala na. Ganon din yun eh. Walang mangyayari eh.
There is a silver lining though. You've got a lot of youth voters coming in who've actually registered. The registration numbers are at an all-time high. So if there is a point in your life where you're like, and I'm sure like you, Sam, Ellie, you guys can relate na parang, hey, my vote might actually make a difference. I think this is
Definitely.
this is the time to do so. So again, as a reminder to everybody,
Right,
you got like
right.
9 days left to register.
Pero is it true na binaba yung video? Like you produced or you let out a video on YouTube na parang tinanggal?
No, it's here.
Wala na akong balita sa video na yan. Andiyan pa?
Nandiyan pa ba?
And then, yeah.
May nagsabi sa akin may mga nagpatanggal or something.
It's still there.
Na fake news ka, Sam. Ingat
Oo,
na
fake
yung mga
news
ganyan,
ako.
yung mga fake news na yan.
Kaya nga tinatanong ko, baka chismis kasi.
Baka
Kunin mo na
troll
sa
yan,
source,
man. Baka troll.
Baka tinotroll na naman ako.
The troll ka, bro.
Nandito.
I think Toad's got the video.
Yeah.
Pero aside from music, any new lockdown skill? Nagluluto ka na ba ng ube cheese pandesal? Na-chismis din sa akin yun. Sushi
Dalgona
bake.
coffee,
Ano ba?
yung mga ganun.
Dalgona coffee. Meron ka na bang Buendia coffee or something?
Wala. Nag-concentrate talaga ako sa
Music talaga sa producing.
Yeah, it's coming up. That he that's virtual, di ba? Tama.
Oo.
Oh, I think we lost him for a bit.
Oh, nakan.
Nakat ba?
Anyway, pakita natin tong Ayun, tong
Ayun,
song na
let's
to.
watch the video. There you go.
Ayun.
We can play it habang he
Sige.
tries to come back.
Ayun, he's back na rin.
Ayan, yan. Are we watching the whole video?
No. 4 minutes din to eh.
So you don't really get to enjoy it as the way it should be enjoyed.
But at least people know that it's still there, okay? Baka fake news kay Sam. Kasi Sam, he's sometimes the king of fake news.
Yeah, actually, if you haven't watched it, it's worth the watch.
Yeah, it's a good.
So guys, look it up later when you have time. Big concert coming up for you, virtual concert. Kamusta yan? Anong
Yeah. It's on October 9. And it's called Super Proxies. My title, by the way. They wanted to call it. They wanted to call it Pare Ko. That was the working title. Pero since I have a guest artist, which is Nobody's Home, I figured mas magandang title yung Super Proxies. Nobody's Home. I don't know if you guys know who they are. They're an up and coming indie rock band from Sony Music. And one of their members, the vocalist and the songwriter is my son, si Ion. Siya yung sa gitna.
Oh, okay.
So, first time namin magsama sa isang show. Yeah.
This is almost like LeBron James and Bronny, playing in the NBA collectively. It's gonna be the
Bronny is his son.
Yeah. He's supposed to go to the NBA, and that's the only reason why LeBron is still playing to be the first.
Para maabutan.
Father.
On the same team.
That's cool.
It's gonna be wild.
I can relate, man, because I mean the only reason I'm parang still performing and still doing music is so that para maabutan ko yung yung anak ko na
Is this
doing the same stuff.
This is something that you've always kind of cultivated with him din naman. Like, I mean, I'm sure the interest in music is there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have, followed through on it. But, you knowing, how the industry can be, like, is this something that you're like, hey, it's super cool. If you want to put up a band, go put up a band.
Yeah, man. I mean, I certainly did not parang point him in that direction. Like, to gitara or pakinggan mo tong music na to. He always used to like music. It wasn't forced in any way. Although he was certainly exposed sa mga gigs ko, and he knows who I am in the industry. Pero when he was growing up, all he did was play video games. So parang ako, I mean, I'm not the type na parang stage dad na dapat kung ano yung hilig ko dapat ikaw din, 'di ba? But parang at the back of my mind parang is he really not going to do
anything else outside of playing video games?
Outside of video games.
Parang yun na lang.
Yeah, and then literally like when he turned 16 or 17, he just parang announced, hey, I have a song.
Yeah.
And he started singing. And then before I knew it, may banda na siya.
What? Go ahead, Tones.
When you heard him sing, you said, oh shit, pwede na ako mag-retire. Pwede na ako mag-retire. Siya na lang.
Hindi lang yun, bro. Hindi lang yun. Hindi lang pwede na ako mag-retire. It was parang, finally, I can parang, anong tawag doon yung...
Pass the torch.
The torch. I can finally pass the torch because I've always been, not to brag, but I've always been looking for how can I pass the torch?
A successor.
There's like no one I really feel like someone is actually doing what I've been doing. Like, there were bands who, wanted to be called, the next Eraserheads, but I honestly did not see it in any of the band. And then suddenly, finally, someone can do what I do, and he's probably going to do it better than I can. And there's some sort of peacefulness that I experienced when he said he wanted to be in music.
Galing. I'm sure that was such a moment of transcendence. You know what I mean? Like,
Umiyak ka ba? Hindi naman.
Hindi naman.
Did you give the father... I know he would watch you at times, but did you give him the pep talk on the ins and outs of the industry? obviously it can be consuming and toxic at times.
Top 2 lessons na mo sa kanya. Top 2 advices.
Well, my attitude talaga is not to give advice, unless he asks for it.
Right.
And so far he hasn't.
Wala pa.
Wala pa naman.
Wala ka ba moment na parang, naku, alam ko na yung gagawin mo. Ayaw mo ba talagang, you know what I mean? Like, if because I'm sure, like, as a parent, you kind of want to be able to sort of,
Wala.
stray them
Wala
away
pa
from
naman
Delix
ganun.
na moments. Okay.
Wala pang ganun, bro, kasi yung music industry ngayon, ibang-iba na eh. It's not like before.
Actually.
And even the kids, I mean, they know their shit. They're not like kami noon.
They just did shit.
They just
Tama naman.
Pero dyan ka rin matututo, Tons eh. You just do shit. That's how you learn.
Let's try it out.
That's right. They did
Ano ba
shit.
to? Mukhang okay to ha. O sige.
Try natin.
But these kids, they know shit. They know shit. And sometimes nga ako yung I'm the one who's supposed to be like asking for their advice kasi mas marunong sila eh.
Do you still listen to like new generation music, mga BTS ganyan? Pinapaking mo ba yan? Parang to see what's out there?
Yeah, I mean, of course, being the head of a record label, you have to be,
up to date.
You have to keep up with the times, man. Yeah.
Oh, was it? That's good. At least you're just like, okay, you open up your whole world. You're like, okay, this whole
Ito na talaga ngayon.
Oh,
Ito na
this
yung
whole K-pop wave. Okay,
Ito uso ngayon.
let's just understand it.
Well, it's not that I understand it. Sometimes you really feel old, man. Like, ito na ba yung pinapakinggan ng mga bata? You can't help it,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when these guys grow old, ganun din ang mangyayari sa kanila. They'll hear new music and they'll say, "Oh, this shit sucks, man." I remember when it was our time, diba? Music was so good. It's just a cycle.
When the generational gap comes in.
Yeah. You just have to accept it, But there are some good music right now I really like.